All right, so this week we're doing rational expressions, and you probably think by looking at this that this is something totally foreign and something you have never done before. But actually, it's something you have done before. And what we are trying to do here is simplify these, okay? And we simplify them by canceling things on top and bottom. So whenever you find something on the top that matches something on the bottom, when you have multiplication, then you can cancel it. For example, in this first one, x squared y over x y squared can be written as x times y on the top, right? Over x times y on the bottom. Now, we can cancel things. Because they're being multiplied, we have an x and an x, top and bottom. Oh, and we also have a y and a y, top and bottom. So what we're left with is what's right here, the x over the y. And this is simplified. All right, how about another one? Sometimes your factors that you can cancel on top and bottom, these are factors, by the way, things you multiply together are factors. Sometimes they look like this, where they are a binomial, okay? So let's rewrite this one, kind of similar to the way we did the first one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this 9 as a 3 times 3. And then I'm going to write this as an x plus 1 times an x plus 1. So now you can see there are things on top and bottom we can cancel. We can cancel the 3 on top and bottom. Boom. Basically it becomes a 1 or just goes away. Okay, and we can cancel the x plus 1 on top and 1x plus 1 on bottom. So what are we left with on top? Well, on top we're left with a 1. And then on bottom, not a 0, a 1. And then on bottom, we are left with a 3 and then the x plus 1. And this is simplified. Okay, now here's the key with some of these, okay? Whenever you have the same thing on top and bottom like this, we have an r cubed here and an r squared in the next example here, and then an r there. You can't cancel these yet. Why? Because there is a plus sign linking this one and that one. So when there's a plus sign or a minus sign, that means they're married. You can't split them apart. As Mr. Van Patten would say, you don't want to be no home wrecker. So what we have to do first is rewrite the bottom here by factoring it as much as possible. That'll be GCF factoring we're about to do right here. So actually I'll write this over here, and then I'll move this one over a little more. So I'm going to rewrite the top, but then to the bottom I'm going to take out a 2 because 2 goes into 4 and 2, and then I'm going to take out an r. So I'm going to take out a 2 and an r. And then what happens when I divide this guy by 2r? Well, it becomes 2r. And then this just becomes a 1. 2r divided by 2r is 1. So now what I've done is I've factored something out. And now, since this is not married to this, because it's multiplication, not addition, now this and this could be cancelable. And indeed, it is, because I have an r on the top and an r on the bottom, so I can cancel one r there, and then one r here. R times r becomes just r times r. And then I can also pull out a 2 from here, which becomes a 1, and then I pull out a 2 from the 6, and that becomes a 3. So then what I have is 3r squared on top, and then on bottom I have a 2r plus 1. And this is done. You can't cancel it anymore because this one here is married. All right. So we have a similar situation over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite the bottom. What you want to check is to see, can I pull out a GCF from the bottom here? Okay, and the answer is yes, I can. What is the GCF of 3x squared and 6x? Well, I can pull out a 3 from here because 3 goes into this and 3 goes here. So I'm going to pull out a 3. I'm also going to pull out an x because we have an x in common. Now, what I have here is an x only, right? I pulled out a 3x from here. I have just an x, pulled out 1. I had 2, I pulled out 1. Then I pulled out a 3x from here, so I'm left with a 2, and that's it, just 2. Now on top, I have my x plus 2, like before. But now I can cancel. I can cancel top and bottom. I can cancel this on top and then this on bottom. And what I'm left with on top is a 1. And on bottom, I'm left with a 3x. So this simplifies to 1 over 3x, and we're done.